Selenium 4 introduced something called relative locators. So let's see what's the purpose of them. Just observe the situation what I'm showing now. So here in this site, okay, this is a APSRTC online.in. This is the Road Transport Corporation. It's like Redbus, where you can book tickets from to travel from one place to another place. When you give source and destination and give the date, it gives you the service numbers, which are okay, these are all bus service numbers, and you can able to book a seat to that particular service number. So this is the purpose of it. Now, let's say if we have to automate this, yes, we can give something like from to date and then clicking on search. This is all okay. And after that, we get some search results. If we observe, there are so many service numbers where you have to select a bus. To book any ticket in this bus, we need to click on select seats. But observe that these buttons are duplicated. It's like almost duplicate dynamically created elements. That means how many service numbers are there? And for each service number, you get select seats button. So you can't use index here because the number of services. So if the number of services are reduced, automatically select seats also gets reduced. So this is also not possible. And the IDs or any other attributes created for these kind of buttons are purely dynamic. So it should, you can see that it is a 0 for this service number, and it may not be 0 if you search one more time or if you search tomorrow or day after tomorrow. So that's a problem. Now, how to work in these kind of situations? And I'll show you one more situation. So this is Orange HRM application, and it shows all the employee list. In case if you wanted to delete an employee, add an employee, something like that, modify or any other activity, you can click on this. But if you wanted to delete it, you have to select it and then clicking on delete. Now these checkboxes are again dynamically created. How many employees we add, those many checkboxes gets created. Again, these are all dynamic elements. So when there are dynamic elements, we have to go for XPath, and we create the relation between dynamic element to unique element to dynamic element. Let's say if we have to create an XPath in this situation, first I will create the XPath of related element. I will create the XPath of related element /div at the rate class, and this the text is going to be 33562. I'm going to use it. Yes, this works because that is a number. Otherwise, I have to use double quotes, right? And what is the relation between select seats and that service number? Just mouse up, mouse over, and this element. What is the relation between this element and service number element? It's going to be the grandparent. I can use /./.. And then in this, I have only one select seats button. I can use /input. There is only one input element, and that gets selected. So you need to write an XPath which traverses from unique element to the dynamic element. And similarly, in this situation, what we have to do, let's see. Let's say 0016, that's what I wanted to try with. This is a link. This is a link. I can go for //a, and it's going to be the text of is equals, and it's 0016, again dot dot, again dot dot. So it's in the same place. I can go with input. There is only one input element. So I'm using a rough XPath for it. So this is how you can write an XPath and then use it in Selenium to find and handle, to find and perform an action. Not everyone have the idea about XPath, or not every time the XPath gets 100% accurate. Sometimes it may not be accurate, depends on the element what we have. In such cases, we can even use visual relation. Visual relation is more accurate than this XPaths, because if visual relation is changed, we can say that there is a defect or there is a change request. So we'll have some information if visual relation is changed. Visually, the elements relation, if that is changed, we'll definitely have a change request kind of thing. So that's when Selenium introduced the visual relation between two elements. We can specify that. This is not a new concept. If you are from UFT, there is a visual relation identifier concept. It's there from past 10 years. Yes, we have been using that concept from past 10 years. Okay, that's in QTP. QTP is now UFT. So here we have got a relative locator concept. So how to use this relative locator concept? We can specify when it comes to this situation. And this is the element what we have here. This is the element what we have here. This is the related element. This is the related element, and we wanted to find an input element. And what we are doing here, just observe that driver find element relative locator with, there is a name for this element, for this select seeds element. Select seeds element. The name is the service is select btn forward. I'm using this name. You can use any attribute of this. By specifying the XPath, you can use any attribute. XPath or CSS, you can use any attribute. Related locator with this locator, and to write off by that XPath, and you can specify whatever the service number you have. Now it is giving the relation between. So write off this particular element. Write off this particular element. That's it. You can even provide some more relations. So write off this element, left off some other element, like that. You can even specify some more relations. Depends on which works better. Not only to this particular element, you can specify relation. So this select seeds is right off 33562, below 367, above 367. Like that, you can specify many, right? So it can be any. But you need to see whether that creates unique element or not. That is, whatever the relation you are giving, is that relation is unique or not. You need to check that. That's more important. In this situation, I'm using only one relation, that is this select seeds is right off 33562, and all these elements are right, but this is the nearest element. This is the nearest element. That's why it will get selected. So let's execute and see this. So it is going to have 3822. Here is that 3822. I have taken this intentionally. So I need to select a specific date in order to get 3822. So what is the date I have picked? I have picked 20. So let me take 20, right, 20 of next month. Yes, it is searching for the services on 20th July, and 3822 is there. Yeah. Let me execute this, and then we'll see. You should now click on the select seeds parallel to 3822. So it's waiting until the element gets displayed. Yes, it clicks on 3822. Perfect. It's working. Right. You can specify a relation like this. And similar to that, in this situation, you can also specify the same kind of relation. Here we have right of, here we have left of. That means this checkbox is left of an employee ID. So you can specify the similar kind of relation here. You can see with I'm using the tag name to left of the employee ID. So 0002 employee ID. That's what I'm choosing. 0002 employee ID. Right. So we can have any relation here. We can have any relation, above relation, below, and you can specify either locator or an element like that. And you can even customize what is happening inside of Selenium. But this is completely a different concept. So how are you going to do that customization? It's simple. So here I've written some code without using Java Stream concept. With Java Stream, we can easily filter, but without Java Stream concept, I've written this. How are we going to do here is, we'll just specify that. We'll find the list of elements, list of, let's say, list of checkboxes or list of select seats, and then we will get the y coordinate. We'll get the y coordinate. Let's say this is horizontal, right? Okay, that's why we get the y coordinate of that. So we need to find an element which is parallel to this one. That's why y coordinate becomes equal for this. I'm getting the y coordinate for these elements, and within for loop, I'm checking plus or minus 10. So between this one and this one, I'm checking plus or minus 10 with it, because it is ending here and it is starting here. So I'm checking plus or minus 10. You can even increase that, but make sure they should not find this element. So you need to check, you need to have a trial and error, right? And then if that gets equal, you're going to return that element. So if you wanted to find that is a below element or above element, you can change that math.abs function. So if you don't want to use all this concept in single line, you can use this by using Java streams concept. So in order to use this concept, you should know about Java streams with lambda expressions, functional interface concept, all this. So here I'm filtering the elements which are plus or minus 10 here. I'm filtering these elements and then getting the first element of that and returning that particular element. So starting from here, this is going to be a single statement. We are filtering, finding the dynamic element, filtering the dynamic elements which are in parallel with unique element, and then returning that. Similarly, you can even do that for vertical as well, like this. So this is like customizing the relative locator concept. You can able to customize that, right? And remember, this concept is not a new concept in automation. Selenium just introduced now, but many projects are already using this concept from years. Selenium officially have introduced this concept in Selenium 4. Thanks for watching.